Do you wonder why you're alive? Not biologically per se, but spiritually? Why you exist within the greater universe at large? And what the point is to all of this, any of this? Why all the pain? Why all the suffering? Why are you here? Let's figure it out. Heads up before we start, a disclaimer. I could be wrong about all of this. This is completely speculative. Of course, this is all just what I'm about to say, things that I gathered from personal experience. That includes near-death experiences, not my own, just checking out other people's. That includes drug trip reports, sometimes my own, but also other people's. And of course, lots of reading on different esoteric concepts, and things that I've just meditated on extensively, things that I've thought about a lot, and putting things together in my head, blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, this is all speculation. Just want to be clear about that. I'm no guru. I'm no self-helper. I can't tell you about the law of attraction and all that stuff. But this is what I think. All right. Let's start with our bodies. We work within a non-plasmic space here on Earth. That space includes your own body. The body is your exoskeleton. Just like your car is an exoskeleton. Your car is an exoskeleton on an exoskeleton. Both your car and your body give you the benefit of manipulating time and space. And our brains function on electricity to think, to see, and to move. So just as in a car, you are separate from the environment that you are experiencing, so too in your body. It's outside the window, it's outside your eyes. As you're moving through space and time in your exoskeleton body, your exoskeleton car, consider the progression of time. Due to the progression of physical matter in space, time as we know it from within physical matter only progresses forward. There may be a case when we go back or can go back, but not in these bodies. If we can go back, that's something outside of time. But these bodies keep us pinned into time. So as we are moving through a essentially non-infinite state, as we are moving in a one-directional state, one outcome, multiple choices, but one outcome, we can only take what comes our way and form it into something different. This is alchemy. This is a transmutation of the qualities. And of course, this occurs not just physically, but spiritually and mentally, emotionally. Once again, this goes back to just the essence of creation and destruction and how infinite that is, how that's the never ending. Moving forward is unavoidable. Your cells are dying at a constant rate, so much that supposedly your body is replaced every 7.5 years. In full, all of your cells replace in your entire body every 7.5 years, so you're a completely new person with a new body. So says Deepak Chopra and several other type of wise people. I like Deepak, okay, but I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true or not. But either way, your cells are always still replacing themselves. That's inarguable. Whether it's on that timeline or not doesn't matter. Thing to consider here is that like our cells are replaced, so are our species, and we evolve. We move to more optimal forms. At one point, we were, if not monkeys, Neanderthals, And if you don't want to go back that far, then just consider at one point we didn't have bathrooms or plumbing. the fact that we do now, that's an evolution. That's an evolution of a species. And humans have an understanding now, especially with consideration to what we've created outside of ourselves technologically, such as plumbing and the internet and things like that, that we have an understanding like we've never had in the history of our entire lineage as a species. We have a breadth of experience, again, to choose from that is mind-blowing. We are living in dreams every day, all of us. This is a dream of infinite doors. So now consider that if you die, the electricity in your brain does not die. It just returns to the field. And at that point, your mind and your perception has been encoded in the electricity. And the only way that it gets encoded in the electricity is if you actually have the experience and have the thoughts and live the life to put it there. It doesn't exist before you move through that time tunnel and imprint it upon the electricity. Consider that you're here in this bodysuit to gather information and feed it to the Godhead. In feeding this life information to the Godhead, whatever you want to call it, to the dominant element, you're registering both bad and good experiences. You're aggregating experience and feeling into a single collective vibration, a unified hum of experience that you're contributing to in the overall collective, which is basically the same thing as the Godhead. The ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. Okay, so think about the origin now. If we are heading somewhere through time, one direction, then we're coming from somewhere. We're coming from a state of unrefined electricity or energy. An unrefined state. There's no memory because memory has not been created from that state. It's possible that the source and the destination are the same, but if energy cannot be destroyed and your reality is contained within the energy, then your reality will just change form as well. So there's two possibilities here. We either move from one pool of energy to another, or we return to the original pool. But either way, we're evolving an electromagnetic field by adding information to it. Again, there is no memory until we create it. All right, let's move on to the next part. Modulation. Carrier waves are oscillating electric and magnetic fields. They contain information like radio and TV and Bluetooth. They already move out into the greater body at the speed of light. Carrier waves will lose information with distance. The further it gets from the source, the more ambient noise comes between the source and the wave. Televisions and radios, that type of thing, that's static. That has a lot less parameters than human experience and human consciousness, which has endless parameters. The experience of conscious existence is much more dynamic. It is not static. It is not a single image. If we are aware of that, and we are information that can consider itself, and we are information that can conceive of and agree upon an aggregate pool of information, then we may very well be integrating ourselves as the ghost of electromagnetic memory into a refined collective dream. So maybe an afterlife, maybe a before life, maybe there's no difference at all. But there's a pool that we can consciously or not exit and return to. Again, I want to say this is a lot like John C. Lilly's concept of the echosphere. All of our conscious info assembled into one planet, one place, one accessible dream. So this brings us to our purpose. We come into these bodies to have all experience in this slow, observable, ultimately clinical setting that is the plasma deficient Earth. We take those experiences, or possibly just the feelings they produce, and we present them to the field. The field then sorts them and integrates them into the echosphere. I'll just keep calling it that. Feelings that are not in sync with the collective vibrational field are rejected. And it doesn't have to even be a conscious rejection. In a word, then, your purpose is refinement. And the refining we do comes in our everyday experiences and interactions. Interactions are information, vibrational or otherwise. So we take in information from all these interactions around us every day. Every person you talk to, you gain something, you run it through the hub that is your brain, firing all the electricity, processing, and you filter it back out in your experiences with other people. And it just keeps passing the information around as it grows or it dissolves, and is then presented after some reckoning within human life to the field, which it then integrates with or dissipates from. But we are the ones who are sorting through it all, picking it apart, and passing it on, deeming it worthy of our time, worthy of our attention, worthy of our emotion, to add it to the full spectrum of the Godhead for further processing, for integration or rejection, which is essentially, in other words, trial and error, seeing what fits and what doesn't. So these bodies, they are sorting mechanisms to sort, to create, to destroy, to pick apart, to register, to note, to embed. Our bodies are the exoskeletal tool that we use to do this, to manipulate matter, which is essentially to manipulate space and time. So there's basically three analogies for your purpose here on Earth. Number one, well, there's a lot of analogies, but there's three that we're going to look at briefly. Number one, a water pitcher. And in this case, this type of water pitcher. It has a filter. The water starts unrefined from the tap or whatever. No one's paying attention to what's in there. It was just scooped up out of the primordial mass of the creek. And this is you, the filter. You're the part inside that refines the water and makes it drinkable. Analogy number two. Hair. In the case of hair, you are the brush. The hair moves through your bristles and then becomes orderly. You're taking something, again, unrefined, and using your instrument, your body, to refine it, to process it. And analogy number three, this oscillating sound. Who are you in this case? Well, you are the person who turns the knob. And of course, you can also go against these things. Plenty of people do. You can poison the water. You can mess up the hair. You can drop dubstep warbles into infinity. We need those things just as well. We need those things to orient us collectively, to show us what we want, to show us also where our actions take us. And all of this, again, ultimately just builds emotion, an emotional feeling in yourself and in other people, which then is impressed upon the electricity and fed into the electricity of the universe, which again is the Godhead. So it sucks to say in a way, but there are no making mistakes. If you're fucking up, just take it moment by moment. Turn yourself around when you realize you're going the wrong way. Lakitu will come down in their cloud and let you know. Eventually, though, it'll all work out, for better or for worse. But that's what you're there to figure out. So that's it for this video. But I just want to, in case you sat through that and are like, I didn't understand any of that, I'm just going to put it in one word again, even though I already said it earlier. Your purpose here on Earth, the purpose of being alive, is refinement. Refinement, refinement, refinement. Okay. Like and subscribe, mint.